A wise man once described jet running as the perfect combination of athleticism and engineering. It's where the frontier of science meets the breaking point of human metal and highly monetizable video broadcasting. My name is Nick Acaster, caster of the stars, and I welcome you to a journey across the globe filled with more bone-breaking speed and reckless competition than you could ever dream of. I welcome you to the world of jet running.
Ready to go, Nina?
Yeah, just tying my jet shoes real quick. Give me a sec.
One.
Don't.
Mic test. 1, 2. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
How's the leg doing? The cast just came off. You can wait a couple more days, you know.
I'm fine. I've been on the bench all winter. I'm not waiting another day.
You do you. But don't come crying to me if it backfires, okay? I assume you don't need a refresher on the rules?
Run, jump, slide, shoot the target, cross the finish sphere, try not to fall along the way, and repeat. You know I know that.
Do I? Because I'm pretty sure you fell and broke your leg last time we were here.
Jet runners fall.
Hello, New York City! I'm Jack Matthew Santos, and today we're witnessing some next-level jet running. And who's leading the charge? None other than the Queen of New York herself, Nina White.
I'm still not sure if I like that nickname, Jacques. It's a bit much, don't you think?
Too bad, Queen! Half of New York is already using it.
Half of New York doesn't even know I exist.
Yeah, duh! It's the other half I'm talking about.
So I'm just that polarizing, am I?
Oh, yeah? Now, are you gonna keep yapping, or are you gonna show us how it's done? The least you can do is beat Mark's time from the other day. Did you see the path he takes? He skips like 80% of the track. It's ridiculous.
With no due respect, I can beat Mark's times without shoes on.
You know you're allowed to sleep, right? As a matter of fact, you'd be better off for it.
The game never sleeps, so why should I?
Because I'm arguing with a brick wall, aren't I? Okay.
Oh, 100%. Still need to get in a few more runs on this track before they tear it down for the summer. And there's not really a lot you can do to stop me. I can sleep while the park's closed.
Oh, that's right. Hey, Mom's making beans for dinner tomorrow, by the way. The good kind. You're more than welcome to join us if you can. Well, you know, get out of bed by then.
Fine. I promise to be in bed early enough not to miss dinner. Again.
Wouldn't want to miss the beans.
Wouldn't miss them for the world.
Hello? Nina? Are you there?
You made it!
What even is this place?
Some old shabby underground tracks the street runners used to use before the park tracks opened.
Who am I even supposed to catch for down here?
Don't know, but I need somewhere to practice while the park track is closed. And while it should be safe since quantum rewinders practically never break, I still need someone who can carry me out of here if something goes wrong.
Carry you out of here? Me? Okay. I know I look tough and talk a lot of shit, but you know you can bench press me, right?
You'll find a way.
Running around where the sun doesn't shine might not be ideal, but I'd be damned if I said you weren't improving.
Yeah, and I don't have a second to lose. It's only like half a year until the Americas Open. Imagine if I do well.
Well? No, dream bigger! You're going to sweep the entire thing. I read about this. It's all about manifesting success through visualization. So visualize big!
I'm not gonna visualize a delusion, Jacques. Some of the best runners in the world are going to compete. But it would be nice to do well enough to land a sponsorship. Just so I don't have to spend so much time chasing advertisement gigs to pay rent, you know?
That's what I'm talking about. Visualize the crap out of paying that rent. Because I'm telling you, sponsors are going to line up to work with the Queen of New York. They just, need to find out you exist, that's all.
Thanks, Jacques.
No!
What?
We should invite more people down here.
To a flooded and abandoned subway tunnel?
Yeah, why not? It's not like flowing water is poisonous, right? Ooh, so close! A lesser runner would never emotionally recover from a fall like that. But the Queen of New York is not like most runners. No matter when or where it happens, she hits the quantum rewinder and tries again.
Damn right!
The old runners weren't kidding around when they built this track. Hitting your targets is hard enough with your feet on the ground. But this track barely has any solid footing to rely on. Also, a big shout out to the crowd tonight. Every one of you who showed up is witnessing something special. This is a product of a bygone era, a slightly less sanitary era. But most importantly, it's a piece of history. Jet running history. Let me hear you make some noise! Hello, New York City! After a long summer of closed tracks, we're thrilled to finally be back in action here in Central Park. And by New York City, I mean you, and only you, Nina, because no one else is insane enough to be outside during a thunderstorm. Is there any way to convince you to just, I don't know, take the night off?
Are you kidding me? After 3 months of running around in dank, abandoned tunnels, a little bad weather isn't going to stop me from finally enjoying some fresh air. But if it's so bad, why are you still here?
I'm streaming. If you're gonna risk your life running around in a thunderstorm, the least I can do is to burn some ad revenue off of it.
How much ad revenue could you possibly make from streaming this?
I've made $1.
This is it.
And we're off with some excellent maneuvering by Nina, but can the queen keep up her momentum? We've seen too many runners hit the water in this next part for her to get complacent. The real question is, do you even need to bother with the middle part? With the way this track folds in on itself, it's basically begging you to find a shortcut through it. Heck, I bet one of the pros could find a way to fly right over the wall and basically make a beeline to the finish line.
Give me some time and I'll find a way to fly right over the fence myself. How hard could it be?
I mean, probably way harder than some of the other shortcuts I've spotted, but I've already lost way too much money betting against you, so I'm not trying that again. The first day of snow is always special. The fresh snow never fails to remind me of what's truly important in life. Like our generous sponsors at SciTech. Without their charitable donations of gear and equipment, we would never be able to put together the city's rotating gallery of community tracks.
Are you doing an ad read for SciTech?
Shut up! I'm trying to play ball here so they might, I don't know, like donate some jet hooks or something for next year. Not all of us get to go to Rio and try out all the cool tech you normally only see at the big events.
Okay, big guy.
SciTech, inventors of the dream you haven't had yet. Happy holidays! Is everyone enjoying the markets? Getting tired of walking? Well, take a seat and enjoy yourself! The year is coming to an end, and we're entering a time of rest, a time for family. But before City Council forces us to close the tracks for the season, we plan on ending the year with a bang. Good Tonight, you're in for a spectacle. Witness the finest jet running you've ever seen right here in Central Park. Give a round of applause for the Queen of New York City, because this will be the last time you see her before she heads to Rio to take on the world at the America's Open.
That man has way too much faith in me. What would I do without him?
The progress you've made in the last year? I can hardly believe it.
But is it enough for Rio? New York might be big, but it's still just a pawn, Jacques.
Oh, come on, don't sell yourself short. You're going to be the greatest jet runner to have ever lived.
How are you getting this cocky on my behalf when I haven't even competed in a single pro event yet?
Fake it till you make it. Come on, say it with me.
I'm not.
No, say it. Come on, you're gonna be the greatest jet runner in the world. Visualize it.
I'm going...
Welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen! I'm casting the amateur bracket? You gotta be kidding me! I'm Mick A. Caster of the stars, damn it! I've had my pick of commentator slots for years now. How did this happen? The scheduling it. What am I supposed to do with the amateur brackets? Let's sing the praises for tying their shoes right? Half of them are only here because it's an open event. They want to see what it's like to run around in jet shoes. It'd be a miracle if more than a couple of them even jump a fence, let alone finish a track. The next part is what? Shit!
The Mick A. Caster is going to cast my runs? Okay, keep it together, Nina. He's just some guy. And kind of an asshole when he thinks his mic's off, apparently.
Now, hold on. Zoom in on contestant 242. Isn't that the woman from the instruction billboards? Yeah, no, that's her. She's wearing the same outfit and everything. What, did the model just randomly decide to sign up for the competition or something? See, Donald, this is what I was talking about. Where's the billboard model know about jet running?
Hey!
She actually seems to be doing fine. Pretty well, even. Huh. Interesting.
Okay, interesting is good.
What is going on with contestant 242? It's been years since we've seen a so-called newcomer tear up a track like this. Where's she been hiding? Production! Can you get someone to find whatever you can on what's her name? Nina White? Man, there's gotta be something out there. A talent like that doesn't just show up out of nowhere. She's not just some random billboard model. She's on those billboards for a reason. We never heard of her. What? Am I still on? Crap.
Damn right I'm not.
What's that, Donald? Found something. Let's see. Holy moly! This is her? I know the audience can't see what I'm seeing right now, but production just gave me footage of contestant 242 doing laps on a community track in New York during the wildest thunderstorm I've ever seen.
No wonder she seems unfazed by this weekend's event. Our little thunderbolts. No, firebolts. Firebolt in yellow. A firebolt in yellow is the kind of daredevil who would rather put her life on the line than miss an afternoon workout session.
Oh, I still think everyone makes a way bigger deal out of it than it was. The park is surrounded by skyscrapers to hit. What's the lightning gonna do? Miss?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is the first time today that we see the jet jelly bomb in action. The jet jelly bomb is a jet running staple, and it's always fun to see it in action. But it does have a reputation for tripping up newer runners. However, this track should be a breeze for contestant 242, considering she's on the billboard that's there to show new runners how to use it. Go on! Show the bottom feeders how it's done, Firebolt!
Sorry, Mick. Billboards are like 80% CGI. This, however, is 100% skill.
Let's see how contestant 242 fares against the lasers. Legally speaking, she'll be fine. They're tickle beams after all. Pure resonance energy. In other words, not dangerous. But emotionally? Well, it's not exactly easy to live down being tickled back in time now, is it? With that said, our sponsors at SideTech would like me to assure everyone watching that it wouldn't actually matter what kind of lasers they were in the first place. Every contestant is equipped with a personal quantum rewinder for maximum safety. So who cares if they got a leg or two lasered off? The pain would only last a split second or two anyway, and then boom! It would be like it never happened. Modern science. What would we do without it?
Please don't tell me they originally considered using real limb-slicing laser beams. They did, didn't they?
And she's off! Incredible! Wishy bobs and weaves to dodge the oncoming hail of fire. Firebolt's clearly no stranger to danger. And by the way, can we all just sit back and appreciate the fact that we don't do wars anymore? Imagine sitting in a trench trying to arm a machine gun, just trying to fight an honest war, and some rocket-powered baddie with a giant ponytail zooms past you, dodging every shot you fire, and wipes your entire platoon as if it was a child in potty training.
What did he mean by that? They can't all be winners, I guess.
Production has found more footage of contestant 242, and the Firebolt in yellow is quite the daredevil. It's insane! She's from New York, a city known for its top-of-the-line community tracks. But that doesn't seem to be enough for the Firebolt in yellow, no. She's the type who runs through broken-down, abandoned sewer tracks just for the extra challenge. If we'd known any of this before she entered, there's no way she would have ever been placed in the amateur block, I can tell you that. Is that a sewer rave going on in the background, Donald? New Yorkers are a breed of their own, I tell you.
It wasn't the sewer. It was an abandoned subway line. I liked it better when he was raving over the thunderstorm clips.
Carnival is winding up for another day of festivities here in beautiful Rio de Febrero. You can't see it from here, but the streets are bustling with life. Parades, shows, parties. It's everything you could ask for. When I first saw the casting schedule and realized I'd be stuck in this booth all night, I was furious. I should have been out there. It's the time of my life. But now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm still furious. But the Firebolt has done more than anyone could to brighten my mood. Come nightfall, however, old Nick is gonna be hitting the streets of Rio with style. event, ladies and gentlemen. Who would have thought the runner to watch would be some no-name adrenaline junkie billboard model? We still have one track left before the ceremony, so give it your worst, Fireball. This one's for all the beans in the can. It implies what? Production assistant for me that's saying this one's for all the beans in the can implies that contestant 242, Nina White, actually has a chance to win this event. I just want to clarify that she is not even close. She's just way better than any newcomer has any right being.
Thanks, Mick.
Nina White, a word?
Excellent performance today. Where did you learn to run like that?
Miss White, a moment for an interview.
You're the talk of the day, contestant. Sponsors are lining up to work with you. Please tell us how you feel.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah, give me a second. Sponsors? How I feel? I feel like I could take on the world.
Welcome to the Sky Piercer, ladies and gentlemen, the world's tallest building, located in the heart of Mumbai's Bay Area. This towering marvel soars over 2,000 meters into the sky, literally piercing the cloud layer. It features several world-class artificial reservoirs, luxurious hotels, premier shopping experiences, and, last but not least, 10 state-of-the-art jet running tracks spread throughout the tower. This is a pro event, and you know what that means. No amateur blocks! This weekend is all about top-tier, sponsor-approved, quality jet running. So whether you're here at the tower or watching at home, strap in, because you're in for a show. The Sky Piercer is a lot different from your run-of-the-mill arena. It's taller, thinner. The tracks here in the Sky Piercer are built with a very different mindset than the rest of the world. First thing you'll notice is that they're a lot more vertical, and a lot more glass. Donald, anything? Fine. Verticality is really the only thing I had in mind. Figured I'd be able to come up with more along the way. Screw it. And all be winners.
I don't think I've ever heard Mick fumble like that before. The broadcasters probably make sure those blunders don't make it onto the air.
Since the Americas Open last month, when we first saw the Firebolt in yellow in action, our investigative team has been working tirelessly to find out everything we can about this rising star. And wouldn't you know it, turns out the Firebolt is already a local legend in New York. Our team spent an entire day in Central Park, interviewing people and asking if they'd ever seen a redhead with a giant ponytail zipping around in jet shoes. How many people did you run into who didn't know who you were talking about, Donald? None. No one. So again, I ask, how have we not heard about the crazy rocket girl who runs around in the lake all day, every day? What's she even doing out there? She's not going to find a husband doing that nonsense. Quote, Gertrude, 68 years old. Thank you for your contribution, Gertrude.
Yeah, thanks, Gertrude.
Our hosts here at the Sky Piercer have asked me to give you an overview of the tower's emergency exits, or rather the lack of traditional emergency exits. Sky Piercer was, for a number of good reasons, built with an aesthetics-first mindset. Can't get views like these without a little bit of sacrifice now, can you? Anyway, see those 4 elevators you all use to get in here? Yeah, they're the only way in and out. So if a fire breaks out, patience and orderly lines are key to making it out safely. Capisci? This just in. She's only halfway into her second event ever, but the latest projections already estimate the Firebolt in yellow to be a top 250 runner worldwide. Knowing that, I think we can all agree that Gertrude can rest easy tonight, knowing that the Firebolt's practice wasn't nonsense after all. Men and women are going to be lining up at the door thanks to her newfound fame.
Can we just go back to talking about things that actually matter? Like, my performance?
Production has just informed me that I somehow missed the second page of the emergency instructions. So, how about we all go through that real quick before moving on, alright? If you check under your seats, you'll find a pair of jet shoes. They're the same kind our runners use to jump around like maniacs and break all their falls. In theory, there shouldn't be a limit to how high you can jump from and still land safely. So, if a fire does break out and the elevator isn't evacuated, evacuating you as quickly as you prefer, feel free to walk over to the nearest open window and jump right out. You might end up on someone's roof, but as long as you land feet first, you'll get down just as handsome as you were when you jumped. I hope that helps. Now let's get back to the runs. Look at her go! The firebolt outperformed every projection made against her, and she still shows no signs of stopping. If her father was alive to see her now, he'd hardly be able to believe his eyes. During our investigation in New York, we asked everyone we could, what drives the firebolt? Why does she work so hard? Why does she run around in the sewers all the time? And every single person gave the same answer. She's doing it for him. What a sweetheart.
What? Who said that? How would random people on the street even know any of that? Who told them about Dad?
Parents of Cornelius and Cornelia, please come to Kiosk 4B and get hold of your kids. It seems they've gotten hold of some emergency jet shoes, and they are currently using them to attempt the candy bar heist of a lifetime. You will be billed with it. Kiosk 4C. Kiosk 4D. 5B. Maybe you ought to grab a pair of jet shoes yourself. Be quick. There she is again! Is she on every billboard? Side seconds with trillions. There's no way they could only afford a single model, let alone a no-name runner at that. No offense, Michael. Seriously, the Killslayer business? Billy Battalion suddenly lose interest in some extra pocket money? I'm getting to the bottom of this. Let's see. Opening Gestagram, typing in Nina White, Jetrunner. Ah, yes, there she is. Oh. huh?
What did he mean by that? It's just normal sports modeling.
The view is why I never get tired of coming back to the sky piercer. There's nothing quite like scaling this tower and looking down, trying to see if you can even spot the city of Mumbai anymore. It's called Zuko. That's about to end, because after this, we're heading up to the final track in the tower. And according to what I'm contractually obligated to say, it is magnificent. Oh, grab your jet shoes and jump out that window for me real quick, would you? I'm gonna spit off the ledge and see if it makes it all the way down or just dissolves in the air. Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the final floor of the tower. Wait a minute. Do you guys change floors with us in between rounds, or do you stay where you are? We're the only ones changing floors? Why? Elevator capacity. Oh, yeah. Wait, so the audience watching right now, this is the first they've seen of us all weekend? But I've been telling a continuous narrative all weekend. Do you even have a clue what I've been talking about? What about the stream? Can't be cutting between the runners? The bots? Well, can you at least send the bots to the press real quick? Interviews are about to start, they need to be caught up. Thanks, Donald, you're a peach. Not going to lie, ladies and gentlemen. I just got some news that really bummed me out, so I'm gonna have to leave now and have a serious talk with production about how we run things here. But before we go, let me introduce Nina White, the Firebolt in Yellow. She's new here, her dad is dead, and she's cooler than a cucumber. Go give her a follow on Jetstagram. You won't regret it.
Why?
Oh, and watch the VODs when they are uploaded to Jet2, because I nailed the segues the first time. Vic out.
What? I'm reaching my limit with this guy. What happened to commentating about what the runner is actually doing?
Firebolt, do you have time for an interview?
Miss White, do you ever feel like a cheat and a fraud due to your prior experience with JETRUNNER equipment while modeling for the billboards?
A cheat and a what now?
We're so sad to hear about your.
This is Mickey Caster, live from beautiful Geiranger, Norway. I know I tend to go for the bombastic approach when opening the show, but can't we just take a moment and enjoy the view? Welcome to Geiranger, everyone. The game starts in 30 minutes. Welcome to Norway, home to some of the world's most jaw-dropping landscapes. As some of you might have noticed, the Geiranger Stadium isn't really a stadium at all. At least, not in the traditional sense. Instead of clogging up the fjord more than necessary, all tickets for the Geiranger Games are included in Radiant Vista's all-inclusive West Norway cruise experience. Aboard Radiant Vista's nuclear-powered cruise lines, you'll live green, see a lot of green, spend a lot of green, and last but not least, make your friends green. Green with jealousy, that is. Radiant Vista, a greener tomorrow, yesterday. Attention all runners! Due to an inexplicable phenomenon that I haven't bothered asking the side test and side tech about, jet shoes behave very strangely on ice. Strange how, you might ask? It's hard to explain. It feels a bit like surfing on an air hockey puck. It's weird. Just be mindful so you don't fall, okay? What's that? The science boys don't know what causes it either. Well, how about that? Huh? Fine. Production has asked me to please stop joking that the SciTech science team doesn't know how their own technology works. Allegedly, my antics have set the general population's trust in science back by a few centuries so far. Maybe the general population should learn to take a joke. A lot of people have been asking me, Mick, how come there's snow in the middle of April? Is this just what Norway is like? And the answer is yes, kind of. It wasn't always like this, but the climate here still hasn't fully recovered from when the almost apocalypse turned Norway into a block of ice 13 years ago. Now the real question is how the Firebolt can bear sporting this much midriff in the dead of winter. Talk about suffering for the art.
Someone has to put a sock in his mouth sooner or later. It's not even cold. There's a temperature zone around the tracks. The snow is fake. I'm actually very comfortable.
I'd just like to inform contestant Nina White that someone forgot to turn off her interview mic, and that everyone just heard that little rant of yours just now. And for the record, we know it's not that cold. It's called color commentary.
My mic? How awful are the sound techs at these events? SciTech is $1 trillion company. It should not be this hard to keep track of which mics are on or not.
From the movement of her lips, we assume contestant Nina White is trying to say something. Sadly, production has informed me that, for safety reasons, we cannot under any circumstance allow a runner to commentate their own runs. Sorry, Firebolt. Take it up with production.
This feels like victim blaming.
What the? Aurora Borealis? This time of year? Donald! Get your head out of your phone and look up, damn it! Sorry for the interruption, ladies and gentlemen. It's just that Donald from production was saying earlier today that he's never seen the Northern Lights before, and now when they're shining brighter than I've ever seen them, he's busy playing games on his phone. Donald! World's Donald! I give up. We're on the final stretch for the day, folks. But before we wrap things up, I have an announcement. Production loved the idea of a snarky runner who talks back so much that Dave decided to turn the contestant Nina White's mic back on, letting her contribute to casting her own performance.
Casting my own performance? As if I don't have enough on my plate as is trying to win.
That's perfect, Firebolt. Yeah, I was worried you'd have to workshop all night to come up with something funny to say. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Would you just look at that view? Sometimes I wonder why these events have to end so late and start so early. They send me around the world for this job, and thanks to the chaotic schedule, I never get any time for myself. But on mornings like this, when you get to see the sunrise over the mountains, it's worth it. You can still do without getting off a bit earlier, though. Lights are just as visible from the hotel lounge as they are from the commentator's booth.
Are you not even going to comment on how it suddenly went from winter to spring overnight? Or is it just another lingering effect of the apocalypse?
Nope, not an apocalypse thing, actually. This is what the climate is like up here. On average, Norway cycles through about 15 mini winters in the span of a single year. It's a beautiful country, but trying to wrap your head around its weather is a fool's errand. Are you in a financial pinch? Looking for an adventure on a budget? Say hello to Radiant Vista's Sum-Inclusive Package! With Radiant Vista's Sum-Inclusive Package, you'll receive a streamlined version of the West Norway Experience Tour featuring some of the extravagant perks of the all-inclusive package. Disclaimer, Radiant Vista's Sum-Inclusive Package does not include tickets to different events. During live events, customers with the Sum-Inclusive Package are asked to stay below deck and avoid any and all windows at all costs. Thank you for your cooperation.
Really? They can't even look out the windows? How do you even enforce that?
Honor system. But hey, if they still want to watch, they can always go to the sports bar on floor 5. They'll probably be streaming the event.
You realize how absurd that is, right? Watching a stream of an event you're physically at?
Radiant Vista. Egg greener tomorrow, yesterday. Donald just showed me the chat from the main stream, and apparently a lot of 12-year-olds have no idea about the almost apocalypse. How's that even possible? Kids can learn in school these days. I guess it falls to old Mick to teach you kids some history. 13 years ago, an inexplicable, unexplainable super winter hit Norway, lost the territory formerly known as Sweden. From north to south, the Scandinavian peninsula froze and became an uninhabitable wasteland. Thankfully, our benefactors at SciTech managed to stop the catastrophe before it consumed the world. It was a terrible tragedy, but our ratings have been soaring all day, and to think production tried to stop me from turning Fireball's microphone back on. It will set a precedent. It's unfair to the other runners. You know what's unfair? Forcing me to travel halfway across the world to commentate a game for a couple $100. Now that's unfair. So, Donald, how about you ask production to stick their criticism where the sun don't shine, and tell them if they don't like the way I do things, they can fire me. Viewer numbers are at an all-time high, and they're all here for the same carrot top.
You did what?
You'll find me at the hotel bar after the games if you want to thank me in person, Firebolts. This has been Mick Acaster, and I'm out of here.
Letting the runner talk back is a new one, that's...
Welcome. Up next is the runner to watch this season, and the only reason I even bothered to shower this morning. Give it up to the fireball yellow herself, Nina White. Now, chat, we all know Billy is going to run away with the win this weekend. He's head and shoulders above everyone else here, basically playing with his food. In situations like these, it's nice to have some real stakes. I mean that literally. He keeps setting the odds against her way too high, and I'm raking in money as a result. Life couldn't be better. Are you ready to show Soul what you're made of, Fireball? Donald, like his home.
The real question, Mick, is whether Soul is ready for me.
Oh, Donald, I gotta kiss you. Some of you might be wondering why the Jet Freeze is making its debut here at the Soul Cup and not somewhere more thematically appropriate. Well, our sponsors at SciTech want to level and say that the Jet Freeze was actually intended to be part of the Geringer Games, but due to complications, it wasn't finished until 3 days ago. With that said, some of you might be wondering the same thing I am. Where in the blazes did these instruction billboards even come from? When did they even have time to make this?
Did you just say it was finished 3 days ago? Has this thing even been tested?
You tell us, Nina. You're the only one here who's used it before.
Sorry to burst your bubble, Mick, but that shot was from years ago. Billboards are mostly CGI.
They're what? Why? Donald, do you know about this? CGI? About Setback being a ridiculous failed sport was clearly a joke, and not a very funny one at that. Also, Setback hasn't been canceled on ice for being too ahead of its time. I promise, the day does come when the world is ready for Setback to be taken off ice. It will be an event worth calling your parents about.
What's the matter, Mick? Did our precious sponsors at SciTech ink your chain?
No comment. Wait. Stop looking at me like that, Donald. What was I supposed to say? She got me. I realize that for a lot of people at home, this might be your first time seeing an event at Seoul Stadium. You might be a bit puzzled about how we're cutting between multiple tracks that all seem to exist in the same physical space. I'm not going to bore you with all that science-y gobbledygook. But in short, the stadium is equipped with a set of projectors that bend time and space to our will. These projectors are used to stack all 10 tracks on top of each other along the 489th spatial dimension, saving the city of Seoul a ton of space. You see everyone in the gallery? They're actually watching 10 different tracks, depending on what angle they're viewing from. Incredible!
But it's already a fairly small stadium. Can't be more than a couple thousand people watching any individual run, right?
Wrong! There's several tens of thousands of ticket-holding audience members watching you right now. We pack them in tight here at Seoul Stadium. Dimensional benders don't pay for themselves.
So, I've been meaning to ask, Mick.
Hey, what's this? I'm the one doing commentary here. You make fun, witty clapbacks that boost our ratings.
How come you've cast every single run I've done at every single event I've been to all year? There's literally dozens of casters here today. Could have been any of them. Why is it always you? Are you following me?
Am I following you on JETRUNNER? Yeah, why do you ask?
That's not what I meant.
That's strange. I don't want to alarm anyone, but I have alarming news. It seems someone's kid has somehow found and peed on the dimensional bender for track 3, causing it to act a little funny. We want to assure everyone that we are working hard to get contestant Sasha Charm out of there. She is probably very sad, scared, and confused right now, but it's fine. This happens all the time. We know exactly when and where she is. All we need to do is dry off the dimensional bender, recalibrate it, and boom! Everything should be back to normal. In the meantime, we remind all audience members who are watching track 3 to not, I repeat, do not walk into the newly formed endless void in front of you. We're not entirely sure where dimensional bender number 3 is pointed right now, so if you cross through, you will get lost between layers of multi-dimensional space.
All the time? What do you mean, all the time? Shouldn't we have been informed of this before someone got lost in a parallel dimension? What if this leaves Sasha with an entirely preventable life-altering case of interdimensional abandonment issues? Whose fault would that be?
Not ours, that's for sure. You signed away the right to blame us for just about anything during registration. Also, they're not parallel dimensions. It's the same 3 spatial dimensions we always occupy, just... who gives a...
That sounds extremely illegal. Ugh, I hate it when they do that.
Reporting for duty.
I was thinking about going out for some chicken and a drink in honor of the rest of the ceremony. Since I heard mic's on. No, it's fine. I turned it off. Oh, I specifically remember turning it off. Mommy, this you're doing, Donald? You're not gonna laugh at my expense, turning my mic back on when I'm not watching this some kind of goober? Don't play dumb. I know I turned it off, Donald. I remember it clear as day. How long has this been going? It has to stop, Donald. They dock my pay every single time this happens.
Hey, Meg! It's still on, buddy.
Yeah, okay. This one's on me. And there you have it! Production has just gone over the standings, and Billy Battalion has built up a lead so significant that no other runner can possibly catch up. This guarantees his victory here in Seoul, but more importantly, it means he's claiming the 8th and final qualifier spot for the Champion Summit. With that, I'd like to remind everyone that next week marks the start of voting season, where the public can vote in 8 additional contestants. Now I know it's tempting to just vote for one of the old favorites. After all, everyone always loves to see Mandarin at the Champion Summit, literally every year. And he never has to work for it either, because he knows he'll get voted in year after year. Tell you what, folks, we've had an exciting season so far, don't you agree? Why not shake things up and vote in someone new for a change? Someone up and coming, like the Firebolt in yellow?
At what point do I start getting concerned over his obsession with me?
Mick here from the SciTech Summit Stream. The final round of... Welcome everyone! Under normal circumstances, no one would be allowed to set foot on these sacred grounds, let alone tear down and rebuild the temples willy-nilly just to make them more suitable for broadcasting. But it turns out that when you have a giant time cannon on the moon that can literally erase time, and enough money to make God cry, you kinda just get to do whatever you want all the time. There's still a limit to how many people they let into the range, though, so only a few dozen people have ever been here. Heck, I'm not even there myself. I'm sitting in the production house over a nearby village. Even the crowd you're seeing, just hologram projections, purely there to set the vibe. What does it feel like, Firebolt, to know you're one of the only people on Earth to ever see what you see? I can sit here and pretend that learning that the billboards being mostly fake doesn't affect me, but... no, it's like a little bit of magic that's been lost in the world. And I caught Mom burglarizing my 7th milky tooth. Did you shoot the funway? Did you dive off a diving board in the pool to catch the pose? Was it at least slightly whimsical? Just please give me anything. Just a little bit of magic to believe in, I beg you.
I think we used cables or something. I don't really remember.
Why do I even... We're already off to an excellent start at Champion Summit. The time set by the Kingslayers seem as unbeatable as always, but Dr. Little Timmy isn't far behind. Even Nina White, the Firebolt Yellow, is hanging in there. She still has a long way to go before she's ready to beat the big dogs, but I'm putting good money that she'll at least be able to take a couple of days here at the Champion Summit.
I'm not even close. They've been several seconds ahead of me on every course so far.
production turn Nina's mic back off again or something? She's been surprisingly quiet. My mic is on. Again? Donald. Why? I have never seen the Firebolt in yellow this ugly before, but that's just how big of a deal the Champion Summit is. There is no more time for riff-raff and quirky comebacks. Just sheer focus on the task at hand. I've said it before, she has nothing to lose and everything to gain. No one expects a complete newcomer to go up against the 15 greatest players in the world and come out on top. I have faith in her.
Why?
Since most of our runners have already retired for today, we're going to start cutting over to the other, more low-stakes evening events that the Champion Summit is known for. This event is, after all, not only an event for the world's finest to show off, it's also an opportunity to bond and get to know each other through silly activities like beer pong tournaments, mafia, and the spectacular three-legged race. What is the Champion Summit if not fun? Pretty much every runner here is participating in the silliness, except, of course, for the Firebolt in yellow, Nina White. Unlike everyone else, she is still on the tracks, grinding, showing the world what she's made of.
I have to beat at least one of them. Why was I voted in? Whose spot did I steal? Everyone here's a legend. What have I done to deserve this? Why do I get to have my mic on? What am I, comic relief? I don't belong here. I was supposed to earn this. I should have never signed up.
So I've been thinking, I'm nowhere near the action now. I'm watching all this on a TV screen. Heck, I'm always watching the games from a screen now that I think about it. Do you have any idea how far away the runners are from the commentator's booth at a normal event? There's really no reason this can't be a remote gig all the time. I can just get a studio mic and get the casting done from the comfort of my own bedroom. I wouldn't even need to own pants. All I'm saying is there's really no real reason to ever make me set foot in that death trap of a tower again. And with an unprecedented move, Dr. Little Timmy has pulled ahead of the Kingslayer in points. This is what the entire season has been building towards. And now, at the very end, at the Champion Summit, it seems like he is finally doing it. It's time. It's time I finally corrected my greatest regret. Everyone, can I have your attention, please? 5 years ago, when Tim Baker first entered the scene, we all laughed at him for being slightly shorter than average height. I laughed at him loudest of all. I was cruel to him. When I saw the surgical precision with which he carved up the tracks, I gave him the nickname Dr. Little Timmy. It's an insult, but he carried that name with honor and dignity. He never complained, never faltered, and now he has a shot at becoming the greatest runner in the world. Who's laughing now? Still me, because I'm here to tell you that from this day on, we will no longer recognize Tim Baker as Dr. Little Timmy. No, from this day on, he is going to be known as none other than Big Timothy MD. Everyone give a round of applause to Big Timothy. No, sorry to interrupt, ladies and gentlemen, but it seems the Kingslayer has just set a new world record on track 6, giving him the points needed to get back on top. Well, what are you waiting for, Tim? Go get him! I've got $18 riding on you. $18! Timothy MD, come here and sit. Loved you in the three-legged race. Incredible performance as always. How well have you been paying attention this season? So what do you think about the runner we're watching right now? I'm sure you've heard of her. She's taken the world by storm. Exactly what I've been saying. 21 years old and already here at the Champion Summit. Incredible. Hey now, be nice. There's only 16 players here. Someone has to be at the bottom. No need to dunk on the newcomer. Yeah, that's what I thought. But other than that, is there anything you wanted to say? Wise words, Tim.
Stop talking about me all the time.
Was that Donald? The mic didn't catch anything Big Tim said? Why am I not surprised? Oh, but context clues allowed people to get the gist of it anyway? Excellent! Even the last part? Oh, okay, not the last part. Yeah, that makes sense. Production has just informed me that you couldn't actually hear a word of what Big Timothy MD said during his interview earlier. Long story short, he said that young challengers like the Firebolt in Yellow remind him what this is all about. And I couldn't agree more. getting ready to wrap up here at the Champions Summit. Most of the runners are back at the house, relaxing and doing interviews, but some are still on the track, trying to shave off some time and score more points. Before we end the event, I just wanted to say what an honor it has been to host this year's Champions Summit, which is consistently the best of the year. Having this many top players gather together like this is a rare joy, and each one has truly given it their all. I'd like to give a special shout out to the Firebolt in yellow, Nina White. I've had the privilege of commentating her runs all season, and what a gem she is. I don't think we've ever seen a runner this fresh at an event like this. Her times here this weekend are nothing to scoff at either. She's outpaced the estimated scores that nearly every major analyst on Earth gave her. Do you guys have any idea how much money I've made betting against these so-called analysts? Hundreds of dollars! Anyway, my block's done, so I'm signing off now, Nina. You still have some time left on the clock, so for now, you just stick around and sharpen your run. But when you hear the loud foghorn, production will need you to step into the hot air balloon and head back to the lodge so they can fire up the old time cannon and blast the entire mountain range back into last week. Best of luck. This has been Mick A. Caster. Thanks for having me.
One more run.
There you are. Mind if I grab a seat?
Knock yourself out. So, what does the great Mick A. Caster, caster of stars, want with me tonight?
Please, Mick A. Caster is just a stage name. Call me Michael. I just wanted to congratulate you on an amazing first season. You made for quite the show.
I wasn't there to make a show. I was just there to compete. The show was entirely yours, Michael.
True. I don't really know you, Nina, but...
Oh, you sure acted like you did.
And I wish I did, honestly. But when millions of people are tuning in looking for a reason to change the channel, you tell the story you see. Admittedly, I might have laid it on a little thick, but all things considered, it wasn't that bad of a story.
Did you ever consider whether I wanted to be part of your story? I didn't ask to be a character in your show, Mick.
You always need a story, Nina. It's the finishing touches that turn athletes into legends. The spice that transforms a performance into an experience. There's no doing without it, and I can prove it. All you have to do is tell me. What got you into jet running?
Fine. It was my dad. Every day during a season, he'd have the TV set to jet running. He'd watch the practice runs and everything. Which meant I'd watch too. Practice runs and everything. And I can't say I cared. Dad always called it the perfect combination of athleticism and engineering, the frontier of science meeting the breaking point of human mettle. His favorite event was the very first Champions Summits Invitational, held right after the Peony Mountain tracks were built. It was Jacob Voland's breakout win, and my dad had been following him since he started. From the very beginning, Dad said Jacob was going to go far. And well, he was right. Jacob Voland became the Kingslayer, the usurper. In an era dominated by the same few faces, he rose up from nothing and changed everything. It was inspiring even to a small girl who didn't really care. I even got to meet him once, when Dad was in the hospital. He was a real class act. Meeting the Kingslayer was Dad's last wish. I honestly think that he held on a whole week longer than doctors expected just to meet him. So yeah, #1 fan right there. Channel he'd be tuned into. The last thing I expected was to become as good as I did and that I'd grow to love it as much as he did. But here we are.
The Kingslayer, huh? I think it was old Howard Ostenspiel who gave him that moniker. It was just something he said on the spot when things got hot. Not to ruin the mystery for you, but Jacob's just some guy. He grew up in the nicer part of what used to be Sweden, dropped out of school, and just ran every day. Lived at home, no real concerns, no other ambitions, just some guy with good legs and a can-do attitude. Don't get me wrong, I've met Jacob a few times, and he's a good guy. Brash, yet surprisingly humble. But he's no usurper. That was just another story, and he played his part. Same with everyone who's ever been anything. He's a lot more like you than you might think, if I'm honest. I don't know how well this character you've been given reflects who you really are, Nina, but that can always be refined. What I do know is that, thanks to you, jet running is more exciting than it has been in years. To a lot of little girls around the world, the Fireball in Yellow is as inspirational as the Kingslayer once was. I really hope you stick around.
I just need some time to think.
I understand. Until next time, contestant Nina White.